Hello, hello, everyone. It is your boy Dion Sage, and welcome to the Progress Report. Man, it is just like so amazing to be here this week. To be honest with you, today we had two special guests appeared, but unfortunately, one of our guests is not going to be able to make it. She is battling on the Vermont Senate floor tonight, and House of Representative floor tonight for legislation. And at the end of the day, she's there to make change, and that comes first. Then this interview. So, maybe at some other point I could sit down with Taylor at another point, but unfortunately tonight I will not be able to sit down with Taylor Small. I know many people are looking forward to that. Jaden, I know you were definitely looking forward to that. But sorry, but Taylor, keep up the good fight. Don't go gentle into that good night. I forget the rest of that poem. My English teacher's probably mad at me and upset with me right now. Hello, everyone. And again, welcome to Progress Report. But we do have a good friend of mine here. But before I bring her on, I'm going to go in when I introduce this person. But before I go on, so Ukraine, Russia, still at war. And, why not for a good time to get, advice from the person that could have prevented this all in the first place. The person that could have literally stuck it to Putin, but instead he allowed Putin to stick it to him. Yes, I'm talking about the one and only orange idiot, Donald Trump. If we remember that perfectly good phone call when he was on the phone with the president of Ukraine and talking about he was not going to help them and give them the same things that America was giving them in the first place to make sure to protect their borders against Russia. No, remember? He's like, yeah, we'll help you. You have that little information. You know what we need. We need to do some things here, give and take. This is how this works here. Okay, sir? We remember it. In fact, it led to impeachment hearings. So much. But yet, he wants to weigh in and says that what he would do if he was president against Russia. Oh, Donald Trump, we all seen what you would do if you were president. You would just allow yourself to get down on your knees and kiss Putin right in the I know children are watching. Anyway, again, we have a great show for you tonight. The one and only, I call her the Empress Supreme, Miss Tina Kane is here. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Miss Tina Kane.
I'll send my own applause track.
I know. I wish we had an applause track. But Tina, how are you?
Tired. I'm so tired.
You're so tired. I hear you.
All four kids have a cold, and now the baby's teething. I'm tired. I'm probably not as tired as Trish, but I'm tired.
Yes. That's right. You have 4 little ones.
4 little ones. So tiny. One of them has a birthday tomorrow.
Yay! We love birthdays.
Little 6-year-old tomorrow.
Little 6-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I was 6?
I don't remember when I was 6.
I remember a little bit.
Barely.
I remember when I was 6.
Eating paste. Taking, probably not naps in school yet, but definitely eating paste and playing on the playground.
I wasn't the kid that eat paste.
There's always that one kid in the
There was that one kid, but I wasn't that.
Like making the glue dry on their hand and then just...
Yeah. I knew that kid. The kid's probably watching. Friends with that kid on Facebook.
Hi, paste
eater. Ryan says, "Woo, Tina." So, Tina, you are, you've raised your 3 adult children, right? And you have now 4 little ones, and you have another generation.
Of your grandbaby.
You have your grandbaby.
She's so cute.
Yes. So and you work full time.
I do.
So you're full time mom, part time grandma.
Yes.
You know,
and full-time working, and hopefully a full-time partner. I try to be.
Full-time partner as well.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
How do
you hear
juggle
that.
it?
You hear that. You know, your kids come first. I used to subscribe to that. I don't anymore. I feel that I come first so that I can build that foundation and take care of myself. And then I support my partner next so that she can be a really good mom. And then we take care of the kids. And when I shared that philosophy with my therapist, because mental health is important.
Mental health is important.
It is not fair to our friends and our family to carry that burden. Mental health is important. And so when I shared that philosophy with him, he said it made sense. It's that same philosophy that when you're in a plane and the oxygen masks come down, you don't put them on your kids first. See, they don't come first. You put it on yourself first so that then you can help those around you.
That's true.
But I used to tell my daughter, Molly, that if they came down, she needed to help me with mine after she got her mask on.
That makes sense.
But I do believe that we have this. We do have to take care of ourselves first, and then take care of.
I agree.
Family.
You know, and it's crazy because I'm in a class through Powerhouse University, which is through my church network, and class is called Ecclesia. And in the class, my pastor actually teaches the class, which is a privilege to learn from him locally. But now I learn with others through the network. But one of the big things that we've been talking about is pastoral care, and how you, as you know, as a pastor, you know, yes, your job or in ministry, our job is to do this, and people expect this. People expect us to do this, but also at some point you have to take care of yourself. You have to say at some point, okay, you know, I'm Dion, like for myself, I'm Dion the bowler, Dion the minister of congregational life, Dion the community leader, Dion the manager at McDonald's, Dion the cleaner, you know what I mean?
The host of the progress
Dion
report.
the host of the progress report, you know what I mean?
But you need healthy boundaries.
Exactly. At sometimes I have to sit there and shut down, shut off, and literally put on Looney Tunes and not pick up my phone. Not pick up my phone. And it's funny, somebody said, you watch Looney Tunes? Yeah, I watch the old ones with all the racism in it. Like, seriously, I watch all
Elmer Fudd.
Oh my
goodness.
Yes, Elmer Fudd with his big old shotgun. And you know, have you seen the new Looney Tunes though?
No.
The new Looney Tunes is like crazy. Well, they had two of them.
Crazier.
Crazier, but I enjoyed it. You know, and Bugs and Daffy in one of the newer Looney Tunes, they live together in a house. Yes.
That explains a lot.
Daffy does have a clutch.
Does he?
He does have a clutch, and they argue like an old married couple. Bugs come in, sit on the couch, and Daffy comes in and does some plie across the room, and then Bugs got to read him about it, and literally was very Archie Bunker style.
That's really funny. We don't do a lot of screen time with the kids.
No.
We've done like a couple of the movies, like Encanto. Who doesn't love Encanto?
Encanto's really good.
Turning Red.
Yes.
And who doesn't love that?
Yes.
Well, we know who doesn't love that. But but we don't do a lot of screen time. We figure they're little kids, they need to go out and play, and we camp a lot, and so they have to entertain themselves. So there's 4 of them. That's practically a daycare.
You know, it's so funny because one of the things that I say that's missing from the my generation, we went out and played. Like we got kicked out the house. I remember getting kicked out.
There were no cartoons on. Those were only on Saturday mornings.
Saturday mornings, that was it. You know, sitting in your underwear with a bowl of cereal, watching Saturday morning.
Did you have your TV tray?
Yeah, no TV tray. I was just laying on the floor on my stomach, just eating the bowl of cereal. Seriously, I mean, you're right. You know, we went outside and we played. You know, I have bruises, scrape, nickets, and I can tell you how I got this one, that one, one on my leg from falling out of a tree. I scraped it on the way down. It didn't fall. I just slid down the tree, but I scraped my whole leg. You know, another one, I remember a tooth got knocked back because somebody called my name and I rode right into a wall. I looked like I was young, you know. But we went out and played as children, got in trouble a little bit, you know, got taken home by the neighbor because we broke the window.
That was always the worst. I'm gonna call your mom.
You know, the worst part about for us in my neighborhood, on one street was my stepfather's mother, and then on the street behind us was my grandmother's first cousin. So, and then we had another family member that lived in the neighborhood, and so like we would ride our bikes through and we'd be talking, and then one of us as kids would cuss, and like I heard that. Sorry, auntie. Oh my goodness. Like, seriously, like.
And then you would have enough time to forget about it and play, and then at dinner time or right after dinner, it would come up again.
That part. Yeah. But you know, and it wasn't just that. It was also we had, like, I tell the story all the time. I had my next door neighbor here, my next door neighbor there, and you know, I feel one of the biggest problems with the hood is there's no neighbor in the hood anymore, and I think it's spreading where people really don't want to talk to the neighbors because we don't. And I think the pandemic has brought the worst out of people, where we see who people are. I don't know where I'm going with this though, Tina, but like, no, seriously, like I think we were missing out on that neighborhood aspect where the kids are playing and the neighbors know each other and bring the casserole over the house.
Yeah, those days. Do you think that some of that comes from those days when we had, as you referred to him as the orange idiot in the office, where it was, you know, him talking about, you know, calling immigration on people, or a lot of, it was okay to say microaggressive racist comments to people, where it was okay to act like a fool instead of loving your neighbor. It caused this big divide. And then when COVID came along too, we didn't talk as much. And I think in some aspects we might have. I think
it was through Facebook. More people were on Facebook and social media during COVID than anything, and you really got to see people's actual opinions about things because they weren't talking about in their circles. Now they're, I'm just going to go to social media.
Do you think those opinions though were microscopic, where you know, you have your microscope down on ants and you like make them burst into flames and burn, where they are our opinions, but would we say that in a conversation?
I think allowing people like Donald Trump to be on television spewing out rhetoric like that is planting seeds of hate. And when those seeds get planted and they begin to manifest, the issue is the other side. What we did was, well, they said this, so we're gonna retaliate with this. And you know, when Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. You know, people have to remember that comment was made to say, you know what, let them say what they're gonna say, but this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna keep pushing. And I think, in essence, we lost that. We lost that in 2020. We lost that piece.
That was hard to do when they were coming back killing people.
Well, you know what? It was hard to do, but you know, again, you know, at the end of the day, I will still say this: love still conquers all. Love conquers hate. You know, darkness. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only the light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And it makes it hard to love. And I think it does. It makes it hard to love, especially when someone's saying something like, even myself. You know, I lost it during 2020 when someone told me to go F myself. You effing faggot. You know, that hurt. You know, and when they had said that to me, it was. I retaliated in a way that I never would normally do. Yeah. You know, but
it's because we were all experiencing some trauma, right?
Exactly.
And plus during the height of Black Lives Don't Matter, and we were being isolated, and we were, you know, in this recession, and we weren't working, and we weren't being social. We're social creatures, and for someone to say something negative, when you are already in this negative mind space, so it's no wonder.
I just think that, and I think if we get back to and bring it back to the children and being out playing and bringing back that neighborhood vibe of, you know, like the Sandlot. I'm just saying, can we get the Sandlot? Yeah. Like,
but you know, in all of this, I also don't want to say anything negative about the parents out there who do give their kids screen time. Sometimes mom needs a minute.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me tell you something. As a godfather, I have learned that just give them here's your little tablet. Oh, yep. What do you want? Cocoa melon? Okay, no problem. Here's cocoa melon. Okay. No. Oh, Pet Patrol, here you go. All right.
If you need it,
whatever you need to sit there and lay on that pillow and be quiet, so I can just sit here and enjoy this glass of wine.
Yeah.
You do no, I'm sorry.
Coffee in the morning, wine at night.
But we do have to get a commercial. So with that said, we will be right back. Good evening, and we are back. It's myself and Tina Kane, the Empress Supreme. We're here today talking to you about some nice topics. We just had a wonderful conversation. I know some people, if you're just tuning in, you're looking forward to Taylor Small. Unfortunately, Vermont State Representative Taylor Small is on the House floor battling some bills, and so we wish her Godspeed and everything she can do. Hopefully, if she gets out a little early, she might jump in. That's happened before. Senator Tiara Mack did that. I think it was season. I don't get me thinking what season number it was. I think it was season 3. She did that. She jumped in at the end of her session.
Oh.
And it came in like the last 5 minutes.
It's kind of like a star cameo.
It was. It was great.
And she probably just came in like flying in with her cape.
Yes, she did.
And then threw in some like really intricate, thoughtful sound bites, and then.
That's it. Did you watch last week when Kamika was last episode when Kamika was here?
Oh, teething baby.
Oh, that's right. Well.
No, I missed it.
You have to. There's a whole.
I did get to see her walk through though.
So Kamika Mack is the first person to get to basically just take over the whole show for a whole 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I forgot what topic we were talking about, and just literally I couldn't get a word in. I could not get a word in. So
I'll have to go back and watch the episode.
Yes. There is some nostalgic moments. So there's a couple things that it was probably this topic here that Kamika Ross didn't have any that Kamika Ross didn't allow me to talk. It was probably this topic here. Let's talk about the Don't Say Gay bills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she and I, along with Senator Mack and with Ken and with Alex Kithis, had a discussion with the media about the Don't Say Gay bills, and it was a long discussion, and during that discussion, Senator Mack brought up how when we bring up topics like this. That, granted, they won't go anywhere. She said, why are we even talking about this? It doesn't deserve airtime. We have important things to talk about, like homelessness. And totally agree with her. And when these types of things come up, they become very triggering for us. They become very traumatizing for us. And even though we talked about it at the time, we talked about it during that discussion with the media. And Ken and I talked about it afterwards. And it was bizarre because I was doing some social media trolling. And and was in some discussions about the Don't Say Gay bill, and was in some discussions about turning red, and I felt drained and exhausted and emotional, and I had to take a moment during the day to just feel that and cry, and I didn't understand why. And then later Ken and I we were talking about it and kind of did a recap about the interview that we had done earlier in the day, and he said, we just talked about this. This is traumatizing. So as these discussions are happening and you're seeing these bills, being papered all across the country, and you're hearing about it on the news and you're seeing it in social media, take space for yourself and step back, have those boundaries.
I just find these bills to be a hat and pony trick. And I think I agree with Senator Mack, where we have more important issues to worry about other than someone's life, period. I'm still speechless that this in 2022, after everything, we still have these type of bills being brought forward in small portions, trying to break down what the federal government has already decriminalized and said, okay, this is legal, this is okay. Okay, so the federal government says this is legal, this is okay. It should be good for all states, in my opinion. Yes, states have the right to put laws according to their municipalities and state laws and state legislation. But let's be real, when we're talking about basic human rights, I think that comes down to the federal government. So when we're talking about these Don't Say Gay bills, or even the anti-trans bill that's coming, that got shot down in Idaho, or the Alabama bill, the Alabama that's moving forward, when we think about these type of bills that attack not just sexuality, but gender identity, right? We really have to think about, at the end of the day, the ballot. Like seriously, and I think it comes down at this point for our community, an old speech, and I'm going to use that old Malcolm X speech, for the LGBTQIA plus community. It comes down to the ballot versus the bullet, because even in our own community, we have people who will not vote.
No, it's true. It's true. Because they figure, exactly, what good is it going to do?
So I think, like looking at all these bills moving across the country, I just think that we got to come together and really push a huge voting agenda. But also at the same time, I think we need states like Rhode Island, Massachusetts, California to lead the way and create legislation that stops this, just like they did with anti-abortion bills.
Yeah, shove them in the closet and
exactly.
shut the door.
Exactly.
Because we need to protect our children. We need to protect the most marginalized. And if we aren't serving them, we're not serving the rest of the population. Because when our siblings thrive, then we thrive as well. And it's alarming when some of these that we think as Southern bills and won't come near us, and then they're being brought up here. It's awful. And before anybody shuts down, what good is my vote? Look at Georgia during that last presidential election. Look at what they were able to do there.
Right.
It's amazing once you get your voice out there and you demand to be heard. So now it's all up in arms, and now we're seeing all of these, these other bills that are coming to play about stifling votes.
I will say this, there is a 65% of Republicans are like, saying, hey, we're not supporting these. these anti-gay bills.
They need to be louder.
You know what I mean? No, they do need to be louder. I think they're not. The reason why they're not louder is because of the fact that the ones that get the screen time are your Ron DeSantis, your Marjorie Taylor Greens, and your Ted Cruz's, and what's the other one? What's the other queen from South Carolina?
Lindsey Graham. More of a court jester, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. They're all puppets, and I feel like Donald Trump's the puppeteer. You know, because again, Ted Cruz. Hold on, I always have to. Every time I mention Ted Cruz, right? We're not doing this. We're not doing this right now. Behind the scenes, right now, I have both. I have Chris and Ken battling with naming people. We're not doing this tonight. We're not going to be talking about Lindsey Graham Cracker, and we're not going to be talking about Josh Harley Davidson riding with a Confederate flag. We're not talking about this. We're not talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene and her lazy jets. But I got one person I want to talk about, Ted Cruz. How do you support a man that dissed your wife? I mean, all he did was talk about your wife. And Ted Cruz's wife, how are you with a man that kisses the ass of someone who talked about you so badly? I would have divorced him in Mexico. How do you still be with a man who argued with a Sesame Street character?
It's just Big Bird. Why are you guys getting else all upset about Big Bird?
But that's who gets the screen time, Tina. Those guys get the screen time. And they shut down people like that are making sense. And then don't be wrong, she's not the best person to make sense as an example, but she was one of the few to fight against her parties and they'll come on, we're not doing this. And that's Liz Cheney. You know, that you know, and they signed. Look what happened.
Still a horrible person.
Still.
let's be clear. Not too many.
You know, there. Look what they do to Mitt Romney, who's a horrible person.
Also a horrible person.
Also a horrible person. But you know,
they make him look good.
I mean, you know. I'm hungering for the days of George Bush again.
Right? When they were just stupid.
Just stupid, not inter-stupid.
Right. Just stupid and mostly harmless.
But do we have another commercial break? Is that what he came in for? Do we have another commercial break? I don't know why. Okay, I think he came in for another commercial break. I guess we have
twice for yes.
Blink. Touch your nose if you're in trouble. We're trying to figure this out. We're not sure. You missed the cue. Anyway, so I guess we are getting the signal to go to commercial. Yep, they just wrote it across the screen. You know. Anyway, so everyone, we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. With March being Women's History Month, once again, here in America, we are making history. Where right now the Senate is in the confirmation hearings with with the first African American woman who could be a U.S. Supreme Court justice. Her name is Judge. I'm gonna get this wrong.
Honorable. The Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Ketanji Brown Jackson. I just
things that I love about her. Self-proclaimed woman of color who has a funny name. She says it. I didn't coin that. And also she wears her hair natural, and she's dark skinned, and I just love her. She is the most qualified person to sit on the bench, and I think it's amazing.
So she has served as an attorney and a jurist and a federal judge on the U.S. Appeals Court for the District of Columbia since 2001. She was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Miami, Florida. She attended Harvard University for college and law school. She served as the editor of the Harvard Law Review. She began her legal career with listen here, little one.
My puppy's running around on the floor.
With 3 clerkships, including one with the U.S. Supreme Court Associate Justice Stephen Breyer, who she possibly could be replacing. That's wonderful. And from 2013 to 2001, she served as district judge for the United States District Court of District of Columbia. I love to read off like people like Judge Jackson's resume, because of the fact that, I think this is just excellent. About 2 years ago, I believe it was in Houston, they elected the most women of color as district judges down in the Texas area. And I think they were up to 21 at that point, and so all over the country, we have seen powerful Black women take on benches, take on big cases. For example, there was a judge in, I believe it was Detroit, who took on a case with a police officer and tried a police officer for killing an unarmed Black man. We're seeing these all over. Powerful women of color are taking position, taking on. And I think it's a beautiful thing to me.
And she's also the only one, once she is, because I'm optimistic that way, once she does make it to the Supreme Court, she will be the only one who was a defense attorney as well.
Wow.
And I was looking up, because I know that there aren't a lot of Black women who make it to that high of an education. So I wanted to see what percentage of lawyers in the U.S. are Black, and it's 4.7%. That's not a lot. So out of all the lawyers in the entire country, only 4.7 are Black. So then a percentage of that then would be women. So so from the 4.7%, 37% are women. So for her to be as amazing as she is and be recognized, that's the difference, is that there are amazing young Black women. They don't even have to be young Black women. There are amazing Black women. There are amazing women of color who are out there who don't have the education. Did you know that it's Black women who make up a majority of people who have college debt? And so when we're talking about getting rid of college debt, we're talking about protecting Black women who are trying to get an education. So that she's going to sit on the, in our prestigious Supreme Court is levels of beyond amazing.
It is, And
now let's get rid of Clarence Thomas, but that's another issue. Breathe. But baby steps. Let's start with Clarence Thomas, and then we'll ride through Kavanaugh and get rid of Phony Barrett.
We can keep Roberts for a little bit.
Yes.
Roberts can stay for a little bit
Yeah.
It's so crazy. If I could compare Robert's career as the Chief Justice right now, I have to compare him to a fellow Republican of his, and that is former Chief Justice. Oh my goodness, I just had a name at the tip of my tongue. Warren. During the when you watch how he literally said, no, we're going to hear this case again in the Brown versus Board of Education when he became the Chief Justice, and literally they were able to change education and begin integrating education because of that leadership. And I like how Chief, even though I'm not saying he's the best, but I like how he literally says, no, look, wait a minute, I want to keep politics off the Supreme Court,
and that's the way it should be.
It should be, and I think he's done a good job of doing that.
Let me pick up my dog here. He's being obnoxious.
Everyone.
This is Michelangelo. He's obnoxious. He's making his screen debut.
How you doing? You want to know what we're doing up here?
He's got strong feelings about the Supreme Court being diverse.
So this is very, very exciting news. Very exciting news. On the other hand, I talked a little bit at the top of the hour about Russia. According to President Joe Biden, intelligence says that there's a possibility that Putin is using chemical warfare in Ukraine.
Oh my gosh. That I had not heard that yet. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about this.
I just read that, came across my screen today, and I was reading about it, and it's like apparently, they're going to be petitioning the UN to now investigate or something, some way, some
because
form.
Bombing maternity wards wasn't strong enough.
Not strong enough. No. But this is what bothers me about these world leaders. Everyone's standing by and watch this man literally for years. When he did it with Georgia. Obama kept him at bay back in 2014 with Ukraine, and then you get President Jackass come in and not keep that support and literally takes the restraints off, took the leash off the pit bull that terrorizes the neighborhood,
and then disappeared.
Yeah. This is just
disgusting.
And for me is where's Germany? And it's so funny. I heard a joke the other day. This is interesting. Germany doesn't want to go to war.
Well, I mean,
nobody wants to go to war.
In their defense, they didn't work out so well.
That's 2 times.
But it was counted. Just fund it, Germany. Set it out. It's fine. Just give us the money.
Okay. It's okay.
It's like that one relative you invite to the party, but you're like, just send a gift. We're fine.
It's okay. Just you stay over there. But yeah, so I just think that even Europe, all of Europe, they also need to respond, because what's going to stop this man? Okay, if let's say if he does take Ukraine, what's stopping him from continuing to move westward?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's his campaign. It's not a war. It's his campaign. Is what it's the propaganda that he's using in Russia, and it's terrifying. It is terrifying, especially all of us in that Gen X, generation, sitting here watching. Oh my gosh, it's Russia again. I mean, when we were growing up, every movie had Russia as the bad guys. Every one of them. And to see it again, it's a little surreal. Like I thought we had gotten past some of these things. And we've got World War III knocking on our door.
Again, but also, my thing is, the Russian people have to stand up as well. The Russian people have to stand up. But the other thing is, they should have stood up when he put phony charges on his campaign opponent for the position of Kremlin in the UK, and for changing their constitution.
And how do you blame them too much when we had the same kind of regime happen here, and the same blinders on some of the people here too that he talked into an insurrection, and we haven't seen a lot come out of that because we have other things that things are focused on, and so we have to go dig for that type of information. But we had something similar happen here, and he certainly tried to hold on to power.
Well, he tried, but look what happened. We responded.
We did respond.
We responded, but then that other response led to, unfortunately, a section of the population of people to like, oh, we're gonna go storm the Capitol.
And with them trying to stop with these new voter bills and these voter laws and those types of things.
I just for me with the.
Do you see him coming back? Trying to. Do you see him trying to come back?
I see him trying to come back, and I think it's just very sad for the country at this point for someone like him to be able to like come back. We for years they have tried to get this man either on tax evasion, tried to get him on campaign fraud, tried to get him on not paying employees,
sex allegations.
What else? Failed casinos, failed hotels, failed airlines, failed university, failed foundations, failed this, failed. So, Trump supporters, why would you want someone who consistently fails to run your country?
He's a loser.
That doesn't make any sense. It makes me mad. It makes me mad.
Yeah.
It makes me really.
It's frustrating because you can't appeal to their sense of goodness, and they don't see the harm that he did, because they come back and they say, yeah, but we like him for this thing, he saved us $10 on our taxes, and you're like, but he's a raging lunatic that in essence pushed Russia into this war with Ukraine, and then started this insurrection on the capital of our country, rained racism down on us and hatred, but that's okay because you saved your $10. Okay, go you. It's what, $250 a year? I hope it was worth it.
Yes. So.
And the ramifications. We're stuck with Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett. Gross. Was there a third one? Did he do a third one too?
Did he do a third one? Gorsuch?
No. Was it just the two?
Just the two? Just the two? Who was Gorsuch? Where did Gorsuch come from?
I don't know.
Isn't he a Republican? Was he George Bush? George Bush?
Might have been.
He's been on the Supreme Court that long.
That makes you sound old when you say that.
I am. I'm sorry.
We aged a lot during Trump and COVID years.
It's just okay. My first time ever being able to vote for president in the United States was 2008. Do you know who I voted for? John McCain. No, I'm joking. Because if he died, Sarah Palin would have been president. No, I'm joking. Not at all.
What? That's not even funny. Sarah Palin is president. Still would have been better than Trump.
I can see Russia from my house. At least she was keeping an eye on Russia.
That's right. Yeah. See?
Right from her house.
Right
from her house.
And then she moved. See what happened?
Once she moved, we had nobody there manning the border. And yes, I was right. The producers did confirm Gorsuch. It was 2017. Because remember, everybody.
I thought that he did 3. Yeah.
Because we were mad that President Trump. Not President Trump. Sorry. Oh wow! Why would I? Oh Lord! You know what? I'm done talking.
Lindsey Graham has screwed us on all of that.
Oh well. Lindsey Graham's like that kid that never gets picked for anything in school.
Yeah. I mean, you can see why. He's a total prick.
Sure.
Sue me for slander. I don't care.
No. Okay, millennials, my generation. Remember the cartoon Recess? if you remember the cartoon Recess, remember Randall? Randall was the little snitch to go tell everything, everything that everybody did. He became a snitch, and he would go tell everything to Miss Finster. Miss Finster was basically the authority of the playground. You know, he'd be like, Miss Finster, Miss Finster, the Ashley girls are doing this. Miss Finster, TJ Detweiler is doing this. Listen, that's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Randall from Recess.
He's the kid that got beat up during dodgeball.
Yeah. Yep. As soon as the gym teacher turned their back,
nobody wants him, so both sides just
yeah. That's he and you know what? It's amazing how he does this hat and pony trick and changes sides. First, it was an insurrection, and then it wasn't an insurrection. So when his life was on the line, it was an insurrection, but then it became not an insurrection, right? Then Donald Trump won the presidency, and then you know what? No, we just got to stop this now and move forward, right? And then, right, all this stuff, right? You know, listen. I loved Barack Obama, and then boom, he just flips the script.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take
to fit his narrative. Yeah.
To fit his narrative, I'm gonna take a George Bush term. He's the flip flop. You know, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
nobody likes you, Lindsey Graham. Just saying. Oh, he's not even cool enough to be gay. No way. There's no way he's in the closet.
You know, Dave Chappelle, years ago on the Chappelle Show, it was the racial draft, the racial draft, and it was like running a football draft where they were picking people to be Black or Asian or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to submit the team table as far as the LGBTQIA plus community. Mm-hmm. Lindsey Graham, if you are gay, we trade you back to the white cis racist community.
Oh yeah, you and Caitlyn Jenner.
You and Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeet you right into the bed. Bye. You're trash. We don't want you. We support you.
I just didn't
and
understand.
We support
I don't understand Caitlyn Jenner.
Your life.
Am I allowed to say this? Like,
she's trash.
Okay, yes, but I don't understand. You finally say you don't live your truth, then you bash those who live their truth. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
I think it comes from living a life of privilege and wanting to hold on to that privilege. And then I'm sure that with her life came a lot of self-loathing and self-hate. And so I try to empathize with her on those certain points. I respect her authenticity and wanting, to be and live her true self. Mm. And at the end of the day, she's trash.
She is trash.
I don't like her. I don't like that she doesn't trailblaze for the people who are coming behind her. That's my problem with her. And that's a problem. And that's a problem with women in general too. We have that. A lot of us carry that queen bee mentality. Mm-hmm. And it's I had to fight my way here, so everybody else has to fight their way here too. And that's wrong. We have a responsibility to turn around and hold out a hand to help the others behind us to get up that big stair.
Oh, that's a great way to go. Segue us into commercial. That message from the Empress Supreme to all women that help each other.
All women are women.
All women are women. So we have to go to commercial, and when we come back, we do have final thoughts, and I have a special announcement for you as well. Don't go anywhere.
My name is Brian Sims, and I'm running for Lieutenant Governor. I think every day about the values that my Army officer parents instilled in me, to take responsibility, to show empathy, to have courage, and to be authentic. I want to put those values to the direct service of the Commonwealth. I have a lot of hope when I look at the people across the country that decided over these last number of years that they'd had enough, that they looked at a lack of leadership and thought that they could do better, because oftentimes they're right. We are the antidote to broken politics. My time in the Pennsylvania legislature has taught me a lot about not only how Pennsylvania government works, but a lot about how it doesn't. It's taught me a lot about how to work with people who don't always agree with me. I think it's time for me to take what I've learned in the House and to be able to bring that leadership to the direct service of the governor. I want to be your next lieutenant governor. We need adults in the room, and I want to bring bold, visionary leadership based on lived experiences and shared values to the Commonwealth.
And we are back, everyone. So we do have final thoughts. So I'm gonna let Tina go first, and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts.
My final thoughts. Do I have a topic? I get to.
You can take a head on you.
I'm gonna say, let's start with being kind to everybody. Let's take a note from Michelle Obama, the most amazing person, I believe, to trail blazes for us. And the Honorable Jackson, I wish you I wish you patience in dealing with your colleagues is what I do. But let's take a page from Michelle Obama, and let's try to go high, even though they are doing their damnedest to keep us down. And how we can get back with them is to devote, get out there and vote. If you feel the call and the draw to run for office, reach out and let us know, and try to support you in any way that we can. And vote. Please vote. It sometimes doesn't feel like it's enough at a national level, especially with presidential elections, though we did prove them wrong, didn't we, Georgia? You stick it to them. But certainly in local elections is where you can make the biggest impact. So vote. There are a lot of ways to get out there and do that. Reach out, look on social media, look on the internet, get out there, vote, be kind, be empathetic. And if you don't, then go kick rocks.
Thank you so much, Tina, for joining me tonight. Thank you so much. I wish also Taylor was here, because it's been great for the three of us to get together and talk. But we know Taylor's doing some hard work. You keep your strength, and thank you for doing everything that you do and all that jazz.
All right, thank you.
So before I give my final thoughts, I do have a special announcement. This has become it's very difficult for me to say. This project, when Ken Barber had approached myself and several others about doing this project here, the Progress Report, we knew we were taking on a challenge. But we all were in a place, in a space, where we had the time to be able to continually report out and give those things. Unfortunately, for each and every person here at the Progress Report, our time has shifted. Our priorities have also shifted. Our life has happened. And it's been very difficult for us to commit here every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. This is why, after long discussion with all partners of the Progress Report and the Progress Channel, we have decided to make this the official last show. This project has changed me in many ways, has helped me grow and know more about myself, but also it has given me a chance to serve not just me, but serve my community and serve others that may not have a voice for themselves. Through this project, we have been able to create family through community events such as the flag raising in Providence and Cranston, through marches for BLM and our state elected queer representatives, through the first Pride Walk in Woonsocket, to having a prayer vigil, and not just that, to our producer camping out on the State House grounds, even my former partner in crime, but not my former partner, my partner in crime, my good friend Taylor Neptune, when he was part of the channel, and everything that he's doing, we have literally, as not just individuals but as a team, have grown as friends, as family. But also we have done it serving our community. So I say this, and this is not saying that I'm just singling out anyone, but from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank two people in particular that are here every show, no matter what. I want to thank our producer, Ken Barber, for his sacrifice, for his support, for his organization, and for his dedication. I want to thank Chris Martin, who was our technical director, for his ability to not only be level-headed and be grounded when things get crazy, but to take the time and the effort to broaden skills that he had and do things here through the digital media that I couldn't do in a million. I couldn't think I could have done in a million years. The Tina doing outreach support, to Trish, our marketing director, even Ray Sirico, and even so many people. And I'm going to say people that I talk to in the background. Jaden, shout out to you. Shout out to Taylor Neptune. Shout out to oh my goodness. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Gabriel, shout out to so many people. But also the other great thing is we have done a lot. We have done a lot, and a lot of voices have been lifted. Thank you to all the special guests that I've had, from community leaders to senators to representatives here and across the nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I promise this is not the last you're going to see of Dion Sage. This is not the last you're going to see of anything. I'll still be out there fighting that good fight, not giving up. Like, at the end of the day, we cannot give up the good fight. No matter how hard they press back, no matter how hard they may put down on our necks, no matter how hard they may slap us and knock us down, we have to get back up. And when we're getting back up, don't be afraid. Those of you who are standing, to lend the person a hand. Don't kick them back down when they're already down. Pick them up, lift them up. You know, I'm often reminded of this song, and I'm not going to sing it because my voice is cracking and I'm a little emotional, but it's a song, and it's I need you, you need me. We're all a part of one body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all part of one body. It is His will for every need to be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. But my favorite part is the bridge. You know, it says, I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you, I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. So let's not us harm each other with hands. Let's not harm each other with words. Let's have open arms and open hearts and open minds. With all that said, for the last time, good night, Rhode Island.